Hi, this is Sharon. Here's a little sampler from my Burning Academy. Enjoy!
Now when I get into the white hair, turn down the heat here. As I get into the white hairs here for the eyebrows, I lower my heat because when you are burning white hair, beards, anything like that, fur, okay, you have to understand that what you're burning are very light shadows. There's very little detail in white hair or fur, okay? So all you're going to do is put very little texture in here because you wouldn't see much texture on white hair, okay? And that goes for Santa's beard also. Bring that up here like so, up here. We have some hair that's curling in here, so I'm going to edge that. And you have to be I have to be careful because this wood grain is very aggressive here, so I have to watch where I'm going. And I'm putting very little, okay. Darken the mouth because that is a section that is dark. I'm watching my values. I don't want to get dark too quickly. I'm leaving a good amount of this unburned, okay? And the reason being that if I burn too much, it's not going to look white anymore. It's going to make them look too dark. So burn a lot less than you think you need to burn. And what I'm going to do is just go over the main areas here, and then if I feel I need to, I'm going to go through and apply textures. You want to watch where you're going here and just identify the main sections so that you have a little bit of movement, and be careful not to be too random. What you want to do is you want to have clumps and you want to have movement, but if you go and you just put a bunch of lines everywhere, it's just going to look like a mass. In order to give it shape and flow, you can see how the stamp doesn't have quite as much as I do, but you want to have certain movement and certain expressive lines. You don't want to just stick stuff all over the place. So watch where you're putting it. Now that's as far as I would go with a white beard. Then on this piece, I would go ahead and add just a little bit of white, but only in the areas that would be coming out. In other words, the areas that would be protruding, not throughout the whole thing. And I would watch the direction of those whites. Okay, make sure that those whites are going in a strategic direction, because even though it's white, there's actually a good amount of detail in there. And you want to make sure you don't just blend everything. Going through, putting highlights in here and there. Being careful not to put the highlights everywhere. So if you put them everywhere, you won't have a good look. It's going to diminish the fact that you're using white. So hopefully this has given you a little bit of a better idea of how to handle white hair or white fur. It's the same thing for fur on animals and everything. You want to capture those shadows, which will generally in a photograph be a gray, sometimes even a light gray. You want to take a look at those masses, find out which area the lines are going in and the lock of hair or fur is going in, and then identify those with a few simple lines, and then leave the rest unburned.